Hello from Key West. I am Greg. This is Stephanie. This is our podcast, Living in Key West. We're both real estate agents here in the Florida Keys. So if you've ever thought about getting a piece of property down here, go ahead and reach out to us. Stephanie, what is up? What is going on? Who you with? Let me know.
I'm with you.
Woohoo.
Wayne, Pear, nice sleeping. We're all just hanging out. It's Sunday here in Key West.
It's Sunday here. This podcast drops Monday mornings.
Yes.
I've been saying good morning.
No, you've been saying good Monday morning.
Good Monday morning, and Stephanie just told me that I should not say that which is true, because you guys may be watching it on Tuesday, and then you guys would be like, wait, today's only Monday?
And we don't even record it on Monday. So, there's no actual... The only thing that happens is it drops Monday.
Bottom line is, I don't want you guys getting in trouble at work and being like, or not even getting in trouble, because you technically would show up on Saturday thinking that Tuesday was Monday.
Yeah.
So, that's really just for your safety.
Yeah.
So you're welcome.
So Greg changed his greeting. Yeah. So from now on, it'll probably just be hello from Key West.
Hello from Key West, guys. I'm Orchid Greg here with, what was your nickname? Petunia Stephanie.
I don't know, Purple Flower.
No, what's a S flower? Anyways, that doesn't matter. We're getting majorly sidetracked.
This has gone off the rails.
What have we done this week?
Well,
I feel like every week is busy.
It is.
I feel like every week it's just nonstop.
It is.
And it's like, oh, it's already the weekend, but we still work on the weekend.
Yeah.
Now, I will say we love the work that we're doing.
Yeah.
So we are okay with working on the weekends.
Yeah.
If you love what you do, is it really work? So, and truthfully for us, work is when we wake up in the morning. I usually will get up before you, and I come out here and I look at the MLS and I see if there's any new houses out there, and I try to just familiarize myself with it a little more. And then Winnie essentially forces us to go on a walk, which is usually about an hour.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun, but it's also work. It is for work to try to, you know, if we can get leads for real estate. And
well, I think it's just always growing our network.
Yeah, it's growing our platforms.
Yeah, because we the more people that know about us, know what we're doing, know us, trust us. And I think that's a big part of it too, is we've said from the beginning that the way that we show up on social media it's legitimately who we are.
It's authentic.
And so if you see us on social media, you know us, you like us, you trust us, then if and when you or someone that you know is in the market or needs help with something or whatever, you know that you can come to us and you trust us. So that's part of it too. So yes, it's about getting leads now, of course.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But also
to be your go-to for if you just happen to hear someone saying, hey, I've been thinking about getting something down in the Keys.
Yeah.
Got someone for you. Or you've been thinking yourself for a while.
Yeah.
Now
and just building the community.
Yeah.
Hopefully being able to be a resource if you have questions about that you're traveling here and you you want to take your wife out for an amazing anniversary dinner, where would we suggest, or something like that,
or anything like that.
So I think just constantly growing our network online and in person, in real life, I guess, and just being able to be a resource to as many people as possible really is the goal. So anyways,
it all started with saying that I feel like we do work every day, which once again is fine. But man, the weeks just go by.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already in December.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know. So
it's Christmas time again, guys.
I do want to talk about some of the stuff that we did this week.
Yes.
But before we do,
I went on a tangent.
No, it's okay. Before we do, I want to go on another tangent.
Oh.
But it's something that I heard this week. I've actually heard it before, and I always forget to say it to you, so I'm saying it to you now for the first time. So you always talk about how I'm not a morning person, and you are a morning person, which I actually think that that's debatable because morning is long. And so you get up at 4:30 or 5:30. I would say that if I'm happy to get up at 8, that doesn't mean I'm not a morning person, right?
Is this a conversation? Are we having?
No, I'm
or are
just
you
saying.
getting to something?
I'm getting. No, there's a
okay.
point. Like, there's actually a point that I have. But I'm just saying.
That may have also just sounded rude on my part. That wasn't meant to be. I was curious if I was going to have to start debating this, or if there was going to be a.
There's like
if this was leading to something.
Yes, no, it's leading to something. But I'm just saying. I do find it a debatable point to if someone doesn't get up at 4:30 that they're not.
Oh, I don't want to get up at 4:30.
Right. Okay. Anyways, I like morning time. It's my favorite time of day.
Did you hear that, girls?
But I don't like 4:30 morning time.
Yeah.
You wake up. You're awake. You're starving.
Oh yeah.
You
I'm hungry
are
right now.
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. You're singing songs.
Mm-hmm.
You're ready to go.
Yeah.
When I wake up, I like to wake up slowly. I like to for quiet. There to be some quiet, just have a little coffee, read a book, something. I like a quiet
and
wake
you get
up.
that
Most of the time. Point of this
you married the wrong guy.
Point of this whole conversation. Well, no, actually, it's funny you say that. Point of this whole thing.
Here we go,
is
guys.
That men and women, like their hormonal cycles, are a big dictator as to why men typically, not all, but a lot, wake up and jump out of bed because you have a big testosterone spike in the morning. It's like the highest before you get out of bed. And so that's why you're ready to go. So I just think if there are men or women who because I saw someone talking about this the other day on TikTok actually, and how there's sort of this idea, and I guess maybe if you think about it, if you go further, that we live in a patriarchal society. So there's this idea that the male standard would be the standard for everyone. Get up early, get the day started, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And if that's not your body's cycle, that it's you're oh, you're not a morning person or something like that. And it's really you have to understand that there are biological differences between men and women. So I'm just saying that to say, if I like to, is it? So it makes sense that you jump out of bed bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the morning. And I prefer to wake up a little slower and quieter and then get going in the day. So I just wanted to share that because I feel this comes up a lot because you're I'm up early and I've done this and I've done that by the time that me and the girls get up.
Yeah.
But
now I will say I don't want to get up at 4:30 or 5:30. I think my ideal time to get up would be right around 6-ish. Get up. Now, the big bonus, in my opinion, to having to get up at 4:30 because one of our little girls went up or something, is I do then get my day started a lot earlier. Yeah. So I feel by the time I do my morning live, I've had 2 breakfasts. I'm moving on to lunch. My days, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
10 o'clock, time for bed.
Yeah.
So I just like that you get a lot done in that time if you do stuff.
Right.
Obviously, you can wake up and just sit there and watch TV, but
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I agree with you.
I prefer not to get up at that time. I prefer 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I'll also say this is not a counterpoint, but another point to consider, which is I think that we as a society tend to kind of come from this place of productivity and grind being the only measurement that we use to measure our worth as a human being, which I know goes deeper than really what I think you're alluding to. But I do think that feeling of oh, I've accomplished a lot, or I've been productive, or I've done X, Y, and Z. It kind of makes you feel inside of yourself, I think because of the way that we're conditioned is oh, I'm worthy for the day or something. And I just think that a counterpoint to consider would be that I think everyone is worth also honoring their body's rhythms. And just because we've all been sort of conditioned to wake up early, and if you don't, then that's a moral failing or something like that. I think it's just worth questioning that or worth examining that, because I think if someone is better throughout their entire day because they're able to wake up when their body wants to wake up, I think that that's beautiful. So I think
that is definitely deeper than I was going.
I understand.
What I would like to say is it's not necessarily that everything you just said. It's more that, I don't know, I feel like if you work, and this does kind of have a point to what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you work your 8 hours a day, or your typical work day that you're supposed to work.
Yeah.
Which, once again, you're right, is kind of ingrained in your mind. That's, now, I think we do a good job of balancing it, but I like if I'm up at 4:30, instead of watching TV, I will try to do some work, or I'll answer emails or whatever, and then I like having the afternoon
absolutely
free.
Yeah,
because let's just be honest, nothing's good happening after dark or before the sun comes up.
Yeah, and we all get that like 3 o'clock slump too.
Man,
so typically it's like, it's
can't
hard
stay
to
awake.
Yeah,
man. You don't even look in the bedroom.
Yeah,
if you do that, you're falling asleep.
Yeah,
you better hope you're falling something soft.
And I think that, again, this goes back to sort of what I was saying, which is like getting more in touch with the rhythms of your body, right? Like the circadian rhythms, and like how your body, like, don't force it. Like, oh, at 3 o'clock you're tired, and like your brain just doesn't really want to work as well. So it's like, well, if you need to be done with work at 3, like that's okay. Like you said, to your point, you're up earlier, you're sharper earlier. So you work when you're sharper, and then you have, you're done by 3, because physiologically you're not really in a place to be as, productive and efficient.
You can't keep your eyes open.
You can't keep your eyes open, right? So then it's okay. It's like, okay, you can honor that and say, okay, like I'm done with the like productive part of my day, and now I'm going to relax, and I'm going to start winding down or whatever. Or I'm going to sit outside and enjoy the sunshine, or whatever you want to do. Take a nap, whatever you want to do. So
I've gotten to where I'll take a nap.
Yeah.
I'll take like a 30-minute nap. They're not long naps.
Like a little power nap.
And then, because I feel like, and once again, I truly don't mind, because I enjoy what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we work almost all day. Like, it's not like you said, we wind down and then we're done. There's always something that we're kind of doing, whether it's for our social media or it's for real estate or anything along those lines, or just life in general that we have to deal with. So I feel like I take that little nap. I kind of think I took one today.
Well, Winnie let you sleep a little bit. But
and then Winnie was buck wild today.
Was
I don't know
what
was up with. We couldn't find her, and I walked in. She's in the bathroom, just going to town on some toilet paper.
We have like a little shelf that has toilet paper, and it had 2 shelves, and the bottom shelf has a bunch of toilet paper on it. And she went in there and was going to town on a roll of toilet paper.
But she's like, Papa, wasn't me. She had toilet paper hanging out of her mouth.
She was very pleased with herself.
Yeah, she was, man. And then she left, and then she came right back in and started looking for another one on the bottom shelf. But so I feel like if I take that nap or whatever, now it's not like clockwork. Like, okay, it's 3 o'clock, nap time.
Yeah,
that's not the case. If we are doing something, I don't feel the need to take a nap.
Yeah,
but if we're sitting at home working, I feel like I need to. I'll get sleepy, so I'll just. I'm gonna go take a little nap. I'll take a little nap. We'll come back, and then either we'll do nothing. We'll chill out in our beautiful little courtyard, or we'll get to work.
Yeah,
So
but it's nice for you to be able to have the freedom and the opportunity.
Absolutely.
That if your body feels tired, you go take a little nap, and then you're powered up to.
And I'm a very firm believer in needing to get the proper sleep.
Yeah.
So if I know I'm getting up at, I try to go to bed around 9:30, which is pretty early.
Yeah.
Occasionally 10 o'clock if I'm feeling a little crazy. But I do that because I know I'm getting up earlier. So I try to get in still my 7 to 8 hours of sleep that your body kind of needs.
Yeah.
If I went to bed at 11 or 12 and I was still getting up at 4:30, it'd be rough.
Yeah.
People would be telling me never put the camera on your face.
Yeah. Well, remember how I think maybe it was within the last year or so, wasn't it like the Gators strength coach? Wasn't that an article you were reading?
Yeah, I think he said he makes sure his guys get 8 hours of sleep.
Well, he said that people are always like, what's the secret? What's the number one secret? How can I build muscle fast? What's the number one secret? What's the, like, asking him for like what his like secret sauce is. And he's like, if you are not getting adequate sleep, everything else doesn't matter. Like that is
sleep is the most important. Get it?
Yes.
Or quit it.
He's not talking about eating protein. He's not talking about 2-a-days. He's not talking about none of that. Rest days, nothing. He's talking about actual sleep.
Yep. I'm impressed right now.
You know more than I know more than you think I know when it comes to football and sports.
Well, I don't know about that, but that was still I'm very impressed with you right now. Couldn't think that could happen, but I'm more impressed now than when we started this podcast. But man, that was a major tangent on getting sleep, but it's essential.
Well, yes, and
sleep is essential.
I think not only just a tangent on sleep, but I think a tangent on if I can remind someone
social norms.
Well, if we can remind someone that, you know, your body knows what your body needs. And I think that I am certain that our society and the way that we move as a society has taught a lot of us to disconnect from our bodies and disconnect from our normal rhythms or our needs in the name of a lot of things, which I won't name, but just like the norms within our society. And I think that, you know, if you need to get more sleep or whatever, like honor that as much as you can, you know, tune into yourself and tune into your body and honor what it is that you need because you're going to be better for it. And then you're better for the people around you as well. Like, you don't, I mean, it's not good when I get up early.
No. I try to let her sleep as long as she needs.
Yeah. So, and I appreciate that because I feel a lot better.
And if she gets hungry,
you make sure I get food.
I make sure she gets food.
Yeah. I don't have.
Ain't no one want a hangry Stephanie.
Mm-mm. No. But again, that's tuning into
sleepy Stephanie.
Yeah, tuning into what you need, and
yeah,
you know, it's important. So, anyways, yeah, I don't even know why. Well, you were talking about getting up early, and then
forgot what we were even talking about.
Well, yeah, you were talking about
getting podcast over.
No, because then you also said the thing about people say, "Oh, you know, do you have work to do today?" or something like that. It's like,
oh, well, yeah, people always ask me that. Do you even work, or do you
like while you're on a live?
Yeah,
it's like this is literal work.
I'm
like it's fun and it's great,
now.
But it's literal work. And then like you do that, I do the videos, and then I do our other social media, which is like think about the amount of time it takes to when I'm like. When I'm walking Winnie in the mornings, I'm doing like tons of pictures and stuff for like our Instagram.
Yep.
And so then
Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook. Yeah. So it really is. It's constant. You constantly have to be thinking about like, you know, what's the next post or what can I share with people or what would be engaging or what do I want to talk about or what do I, you know, so I mean, that by itself is a lot of work. And again, going back to what you said, we love it. Like there's nothing else
we're in Key West.
There's very few other things we would want to talk about as much as we talk about Key West. We love Key West and we love talking about Key West and I love researching Key West. General. Absolutely. So we love doing it, but it is full time, just the social media. And
if we didn't do real estate, just social media by itself is full-time job.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of times I wish I was doing a better job at it.
Yeah. But it's a lot.
But it's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah. So that's
if you've never done like true social media for a business or like if you're just doing it for yourself, your own, that's fine. There's nothing against that.
Oh, like a personal account or something.
A personal account, but you don't feel like, okay, man, my friends and family really are going to miss a selfie of me.
Right.
That's typically not going to be the case.
Yeah.
So there's no, but you know, you feel like you have this need to constantly be putting up stuff.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think there's that
people in to keep the momentum going, and
it's the consistency. Like people want to feel consistent. Like that they can trust that you're going to show up in some form or fashion. I don't post videos every day, but we go live every day. We go live every single day. I
actually can't remember last time we haven't done a live in the at least in the morning.
Yeah,
and you know, a part of it is there's a lot of people that are on our lives that say, they appreciate us going live because right now it's cold, it's rainy, it's gloomy, it's dreary, it's all those not great weather things, and we're heading into Key West for this quarter being the driest quarter ever recorded. So it's been beautiful weather, literally all year. We're 3 months in, and so it's being consistent, which is key, and another thing, like even with this YouTube, so this podcast, I put it up on YouTube. Well, it's 5 right now, and we have to finish.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And then I have to edit,
Yep.
upload it,
Yep.
write a blurb,
Yep. Yeah.
do all that stuff. So it's which is fine. I can do it laying in bed, but
That's what you do a lot of times.
it is what I do typically. So, anyways, that's that. None of that was complaining.
Absolutely not. No.
Just pretty much saying, get your sleep, people.
Yeah, get your sleep.
Sleep is essential, and we truly appreciate every one of you that watch our podcast, listen to our podcast, watch our lives, our videos, Instagram, Facebook,
comment, share. Anyone who does anything, share, we see all of it, and we appreciate all of it.
We try to respond to everyone.
Yes.
Some of them on TikTok go a little big, and it's hard to keep up with all the comments.
Yeah.
But we do truly appreciate it. We do see them, and just want to say thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes. You guys make it fun.
Yes, it makes it great. And once again, if you guys see us on the street, which seems to obviously been happening a little bit more as we grow, is see us on the street, say, hey.
Absolutely.
What's up? And we'll say, hey, what's up back to you. So
Winnie might bark at you.
Winnie might bark at you, but that's okay. She barks at everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, what else?
Oh, so speaking of podcasts, we interviewed Mark Barato from Backyards. I can't roll my R's, you know that.
Sounds like a personal problem.
From Backyards of Key West for our Island Stories series.
Our new series, which is Island Stories.
Yes, which is our podcast that we drop. So we have Living in Key West, which is our podcast. And then we have this episode, which is Greg and I talking. This drops every Monday. And then we have a new series we're calling Island Stories, which is part of this podcast still, but we release it on Thursdays. And that's interviews with people from the island. And they're going to be all different people. They're artists, business owners, interesting people, just people we want to have conversations with who make the island this vibrant, amazing community.
So if you guys have anyone who you think you might want us to try to get on our podcast,
DM us.
Let us know.
Whatever.
Yeah, DM us, message us.
Yeah.
Judy Bloom.
Yeah.
We'd interview you.
Absolutely. If you're listening, Judy. Yeah. So anyways, but we interviewed Mark on Tuesday, and then we released his interview on Thursday, and we had a great conversation. We had a very long conversation. I feel like there's so much stuff we did not talk about, but we had this incredible long conversation, and he told us his whole entire backstory of how he ended up becoming a working artist in Key West, and how he affords to live here, and how he got into his art, and what his creative process is. I mean, we talked about so many things, and it was just a great conversation.
We're just kind of sitting around
talking to friends.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, I'm deeply interested in other people. So I love asking all sorts of questions and understanding what makes other people tick, and why did they make the choices that they've made, and how did they end up here. It's so interesting to hear how people ended up in Key West,
And I do want to say, there may not be one this Thursday. I think it might be tough to get an interview. I mean, maybe.
We have a couple of people we're talking to, but scheduling can sometimes be a little challenging.
I might be going out on the boat a couple of days, so that's going to kind of...
Yeah, we'll see.
Unless we can squeeze one in on Wednesday. Possible, but that means that the other people who we're talking to have to also be available.
Right.
So...
it could happen.
It might happen.
Yeah.
We're going to try. I want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know.
So that was probably the coolest thing from last week, I think.
Yep.
Was interviewing Mark and just having such a great conversation. So go check that out if you haven't listened to it. And also check out Mark, Backyards of Key West.
Yep.
If you were around for our 50K giveaway on TikTok, he actually gave one of his pieces of art as part of our grand prize. And he does really great work. I love his custom stuff. I think that's the coolest thing that he does. So, check him out.
And then also a little side notes, maybe.
What?
Is that we're looking for somewhere to do our podcast for Island Stories.
Yes.
So if anyone has a place that they have here in Key West.
Yeah.
That maybe,
Or you know someone.
Or you know someone.
We're kind of open to any sort of space too. So like if it's a coffee house and we just have like a little corner in it, that's fine. Like it doesn't have to be super private, and like our little setup travels with us and we don't even need an electrical outlet.
Yep.
So we can go anywhere. So if you know someone who has like a cool space,
we're reaching out to people also.
We are.
Just
Yes.
figured,
We mention it.
Why not? If you're listening and you want the bonus of us dropping your business or whatever, pretty much every podcast, and probably during our lives too.
Yeah.
Reach
out to us. Absolutely. So that was that. And then the other thing, I mean, we had a bunch of other stuff going on with some deals and stuff that we're doing, but we also had a potluck.
Oh, yes, we did.
That was on Saturday. So yesterday.
Oh, my gosh.
It was only yesterday.
It was only yesterday. See, I told you guys, long days.
Yeah. So we went to, it was the Friends of the Key West Library, which is a local nonprofit. I have recently joined the board of the Friends of the Key West Library. And so there was a potluck, which it kind of served as like a little welcome for me and the two other new board members who just joined the board. But it was really fun. I mean, it's a bunch of people who just love literature and reading in the library. And
therefore, I fit in perfectly.
Yeah. Everyone's like, do you guys read? I'm like, yes, I love to read. Greg's like, I do not read.
I just slowly back out of the conversation.
Beep, bop,
like the Homer Simpson into the
bush.
The hedges. I'm not a big reader, but Stephanie is a huge reader.
Yeah.
I like to say, at least I like to say yesterday, is that she reads for the both of us.
Yeah.
So, But that was fun. It was fun. It was a cool little area too, and I got to meet a lot of people.
Yep.
And that was
fun. You guys are ever in town, if you've downloaded our guide to Key West, I shout out the Key West Library in our guide to Key West because they have an amazing, for the size of the library it is, I find their children's section to be like just truly amazing. Like it's huge. It feels like it's half the library is the children's section, but it's a great little library. Everyone there is really friendly and kind and helpful. They have the history section, like where Dr. Corey Malcolm is the historian there. And so if you ever want to do any research on Key West, they're like, I've gone there and done research on different things. So it has like a really great like historical area that you can go into a department. And then it has the children's section. And it's just like a nice air conditioned place where you can go, like you can check out books if you're visiting. They give you like a visitor library card so you can check out books. If you're a resident and you haven't checked it out, check it out. Like it's very cool. And the Friends of the Key West Library are basically, it's a nonprofit that's like a support to the Key West Library. So the Key West libraries are part of government, really, because it's supported by local government. So, but if they don't have the means to do everything that they want to do, or for all of the like different programs or things that they want to run, the Friends help support that and help support what the library does for the community. So I think it's just a really cool thing. So they have like a speaker series that they do where they have like different authors come and speak, and which is amazing. Like that whale talk that I went to. And there's just like, there's a number of different things that they do. So if you're interested in the library, check out the library when you're in town. And if you're interested in Friends of the Key West Library or supporting us, you can do that. Friends of the Key West Library. Just Google that online and you can support that. Yeah. And Greg can put a link. So yeah, so that was fun.
Where did all these donations come from?
Right. Yeah. So that was the other thing we did was the potluck. Like the big kind of things we did that were like
things.
Fun to talk
we had
about.
A lot of stuff going on with one of the houses that we're working with right now with our buyers, but
all good things.
Yeah, all good things. I mean, we're in the inspection period right now, so all good things though. But so that was going on, and then this week I think I'm going fishing Tuesday. It's all depending on the weather, so we're just going to have to kind of wait till Monday night to see if that's going to be happening. And then probably lobstering at some point during the week.
Yeah, because lobster season ends
the 31st.
The 31st, so this week.
It's got to happen.
Yeah.
Pretty much now or never. Yeah. So, well, it's now or wait till...
Mini season,
which is the last week of July.
Which I'm sure you'll be lobstering.
Last Wednesday and Thursday of the last week of July.
Yep.
So... Yeah, so we're gonna go see if we can catch some lobster. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And
It'll just be fun to be out on the water. It's been beautiful. There's a bug flying around. That's why we keep like waving our hand around. I don't know what kind of bug
waving
that
to
is.
you guys. Yeah, so that's what's going on this week. I mean, I'm sure we have other stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like something else was going on.
Was it? Let me see. Something that is.
No.
Oh, well, we do. Assuming that it goes through.
Oh, yeah. I knew that was.
We're going to go to the National Weather Service here in Key West.
And that's on Thursday?
Thursday. And we're going to get a private tour, which is like really exciting.
I'm going to try to go live.
We asked and they didn't really like respond to that part. Now, the only thing that makes me think that maybe we won't be able to is because it technically is federal and a lot of federal buildings don't allow TikTok. You can take pictures.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if they're going to like not. So we don't know. We asked if we can, we will. If we can't, I'll try to take video and picture and do like a video post about it. Or like a TikTok post about it or whatever. But yeah, but I'm very excited about that anyways, because y'all know we are big time weather nerds. So
yeah, I saw you guys, if you like weather, you probably follow Mike's weather page. Mike's weather's page. I was about to call him Mike the Weatherman, but
well, kind of
probably gets called that. But Mike's weather page, and he just got some new device. I'm sure it's that company's sponsoring with them or something. But and it looked really cool, and I want to get one here for the house, so it can tell you the wind. It's all I don't know, smart stuff. So
Greg
did a really good job of explaining that. But
sounds amazing.
Yeah. Let's get to.
Greg has a alarm clock that he doesn't use it as an alarm clock, but it projects the time up onto the ceiling. So if he ever wakes up at night, he knows what time it is. And it also does temperature. Mm-hmm. If we had the thing that goes outside, it would do the outside. I don't think it does does it do the outside temperature currently or no? No, just the inside. That's
probably in Gainesville somewhere.
Yeah. So you have like a little outside sensor you can put outside that like it talks to, but yeah, I think you're right. It's probably still at the house in Gainesville.
But this one seemed really cool. I mean, it's a couple $100. So if you want to send us one, whatever the name of it was.
Mike's weather page sponsor.
Yeah, I'd have to look up who that was.
They might. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, we're in Key West. Yeah. I get asked a lot about the weather. And I can say, hey, weather's brought to you by blah, blah, blah. It's 85 degrees.
It's 85 degrees.
The wind is blowing at 10 miles per hour south-northeast with a slight west breeze.
You should just send him a video like that. Like, this is just a little taste of what you could get.
If you want to send us one of those, a little sponsorship right there.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so the other thing we're going to talk about our usual stuff, and we're going a little long, but I think it's fine. So
yeah, we've gone on many tangents.
We have. It's all fine.
Tangents.
Okay, so something that we have been getting asked about a lot, like across all of our platforms in the last couple of weeks, is both red tide and the seaweed.
George the sea blob.
The sea blob.
No, we'll call him Carl.
That's the Irish wolfhound's name. That's his twin brother.
They're both going to have Carl.
Oh, okay.
Carl the sea blob.
Carl the sea blob. Okay, so the two things are red tide and seaweed. Carl the sea blob. So I want to talk about this a little bit. And I did some research about it because we're being asked about it so frequently and we're not really seeing it. So I wanted to understand, someone's talking about it somewhere because people are kind of freaked out about it. So, okay. So red tide, and Greg's going to put all of these links underneath the YouTube video of this podcast, but the FWC, on their website, they have a map that shows where they're detecting red tide and what the levels are. And it's mostly been in like the St. Pete area where they are detecting low levels of red tide. Now that I'm looking at the map right now, it's showing some low levels in Cape Coral, which is south of Tampa and St. Pete, but far north of Key West. So we are seeing where it's migrating a bit south. It is still very far away from us. And those are at low levels. So I just hope that I can extinguish the fear that we're
Banalities,
experiencing from people that are messaging us about it and being very understandably worried about the impact to their potential visit to the
especially if you're
island.
coming from I don't know, North Dakota or something.
Yes. We are not only are we not seeing on the FWC's website any red tide in Key West, we are not experiencing any red tide. So red tide, you both see it that it's red, and if it's high enough levels, you will experience respiratory issues, burning eyes, things like that. It's not happening here. So I can't say what's going to happen in the future, but based on the map that we looked at a week ago, where it is currently, what we are seeing and experiencing with our own eyes walking around the island, red tide is not a thing here, not right now. And what I would say is go to the FWC's website and look at their map. That's going to give you up-to-date information from people that have boots on the ground, and they're telling you what they're seeing, where they're seeing it, and at what levels. So that's probably going to be your most accurate place to check that out.
Yep. So that's the red tide.
Yes.
The next up is Carl the sea blob.
Right. And also, just so you know, the red tide is it's a overgrowth of a certain algae, and it happens from time to time. But it's again,
sometimes it's worse. And
they were also saying that if red tide's at low enough levels, and I'm not advising this, that you can still safely swim in it. And if it's at high enough levels, that the areas where it is, they will post on beaches that it's too high. I think you're going to probably be able to smell it and feel it
beforehand,
before it gets to that level. But yeah, so anyway, so that's the red tide. Now, similarly is the seagrass, which
Carl the sea blob.
is Carl the sea blob. So there's a massive blob of seagrass, which is actually a microalgae technically, that is in the Atlantic Ocean, and they have for many years been seeing the sea blob pop up in the Atlantic Ocean, and depending on tides and sea breezes and all these different things, it kind of gets blown around. Now, the algae is a good thing for the ocean because it provides shelter and food for a lot of different fish varieties and sea life. And so it is positive in a lot of ways, but when it gets blown in large quantities into certain areas, it basically kind of can get stuck in shallow areas. And then when it starts to break down, it can kind of throw off the ecosystem a little bit, and it can choke out seagrass in the area. It can choke out fish in the area. You'll see, fish dying, I guess, with the seagrass dying, and also with the red tide. So it's just one of those too much of a good thing type things. And also it can cause, as I understand it, some respiratory issues, eye burning, similar to the red tide, and it smells bad. Yes. Yeah. So what we will say to you about this is, evidently 2022 was a year where they considered it a bad seaweed year. And we were here in summer of 2022, and this doesn't mean anything because, this is just our experience. This is just one experience. But I can tell you that in being in the Keys last year, during the time that they said that the seaweed was terrible, and being in Key West that time, I do not have a recollection of experiencing an enormous amount of seaweed. So nowhere where we were, now doesn't mean that it wasn't.
And to be fair, where we go during our walks, a lot of our walks, they clean those beaches.
Yes.
So
yes.
They, if you were on our live this morning, well, you saw they haven't cleaned the beach over the weekend, and there was a lot of seaweed. Yeah. It was gin height. So if you know, you know. So it was a lot, but they clean that every day with the tractor.
Yep.
And he takes away that seaweed. So that probably will be gone when we go back tomorrow morning.
So I also want to say this. So I was looking at a article that just was published, and we're going to link this as well on our YouTube channel. It says, we are prepared to keep engaged with our beaches in Marathon, said George Garrett, the city manager for Marathon, whose ocean side public beaches include Sombrero Beach and Coco Plum Beach. We normally rake 4 times a week, but if we have to, we're ready to beef up patrols. Kevin Wilson, the assistant Monroe County manager, said the county monitors and responds to equipment to Higgs Beach and Key West 7 days a week. If needed, staff will employ seaweed removal twice a day.
That's crazy.
Wilson says, we are ready. The city of Key West employs a beach cleaning contractor that cleans the beach every day. According to the city, we are prepared to ramp up operations as needed. Under normal circumstances, the contractor cleans and rakes beaches shortly after dawn every morning, just after Turtle Watch volunteers walk the beach and identify any nests. Our contractors are prepared. Keys Oceanside hotels typically employ their own staff or contractors to deal with the sargassum removal, which is the seaweed removal. So, all this to say, nothing to be fearful of, something to be aware of. We don't exactly know what's going to happen with the big sea blob. It depends on tides. It depends on winds. It depends on a lot of things.
A lot of factors that go into it. But
monitor it. Be aware of it. Understand that the city and the county are on top of it. And
if you're swimming in the ocean, and you see a giant sea blob named Carl, one, first of all, be polite, say hello. Second of all, don't swim through Carl.
Don't swim it. Yeah. Yes. And that's, not only does it stink and not only does it break down and cause issues within the ecosystem if there's a bunch of it trapped in shallow waters, but it also does carry like sea lice and things like that. So if you see it, don't go traipsing through it. Don't let your kids climb on it. Like if there's a big mountain of it.
No, you don't.
Just steer clear of it. Use common sense. But I wanted to say that I hope that in diving into red tide and the seaweed and what we're seeing and what we're not seeing and where you can go find facts and resources and information about it, I hope that that will help to alleviate some of the fear that I do feel like we are seeing. Understandably.
Of course.
But again, look at the facts, do some research, and you'll be able to, I think it'll make you feel a little bit better about what's going on. And if it is supposed to be happening around the time that you are here, I think it's also different beaches experience different effects. So maybe you plan to go to Higgs Beach, but you have to instead go to like Fort Zach or something. I don't think that necessarily it means that like your whole vacation is
ruined. And let's also just point out there's a lot to do besides the beaches.
There's a ton
so
to do.
You can, if you knew you were going to have a beach day, well, switch it up and do the butterfly conservatory,
or go to the pool,
or
whatever. There's also
like you can go to other hotels, pools and stuff. I mean, there's little systems out there, so you can figure that out. But
absolutely, understanding that some people just want to go to the beach and that's what they have their heart set on and all that. But I'm just saying, I just want everyone to have this information, to understand the situation, to understand what we're actually seeing and experiencing here in Key West, and some of the resources that you can use to get a better grasp on what's actually happening here versus kind of what's being reported like statewide. Florida is a huge state. So if they're seeing it in Tampa, there's a lot of space between
a lot of ground to cover before it gets to
us and Tampa. So okay, that's all on that.
You guys are all caught up on that.
Yep.
We're gonna hit what's happening this week really fast.
Yes. So I actually only have a couple of things, so that works out. So there is the Easter egg roll, which is happening 9:15 to 11 a.m. on August 1st at the Little White House. So the Truman Little White House. Yes. So there's going to be arts and crafts activities, refreshments. The Easter Bunny will be there.
Ooh, I'm on my way.
I know. And a commemorative wooden egg. Everyone, I guess maybe all the kids who participate get that.
Oh, well, what if I want one?
I'm sure you can get one.
Yes.
And just put your shoes on your knees when you walk in. And then there is also a cash bar for parents.
Smart.
Yes. And
at 9:15 in the morning?
9:15 to 11, you get a Bloody Mary. You get a little mimosa.
Well, I'm really saying start earlier.
Oh, as late as 9:15.
That late? I'm already on my 5th breakfast.
Yeah, so the event is free. So just bring money for the bar.
Okay.
And, okay, so there's that. Wait, where's my...
Old Dominion is playing on the 31st.
It's actually the 31st, the 1st, and the 2nd. So they'll be here for...
all those days. They're playing in the Truman Annex?
Yep.
At the Coffee Butler or Butler Coffee, whatever it's called.
Coffee. And then... so on March 30th, I thought this sounded really cool. The College of the Florida Keys continues its VIP lecture series with Truckin', a grateful look at cooking, at 7 p.m. in the Tennessee Williams Theater, featuring Chef Stephen Juliusberger, Faculty of Culinary Arts at College of the Florida Keys. In his 20s, he was the tour chef for the Grateful Dead for 6 years and later wrote his master's thesis on the sociology of food. Tickets are $5 at the door. Admission is free for college and Monroe County students. For information, call this number or visit the college's website at cfk.edu/VIP. So I thought that just sounded like really cool and different.
Yeah.
Yep. And then my last thing. I think my last thing was actually Old Dominion. So
boom, beat you to
that was it. Yeah. So that's all. Those are the three. I mean, there's other stuff going on, but those are like the three highlights that I wanted to talk about.
House of
the
week. And this house we actually walked by during one of our lives because someone who was on our live said that was her home that she wants to get. And so we walked by it. She's not getting it, but so it's still for sale. But that is one she would love to purchase. And but it was a cute little place, 605 Margaret Street. It's just under 1,000 square feet. It's a 2-2. It's got a cute little backyard area.
Yes.
Not central air or split unit, so I probably would maybe try to look into maybe doing split units
for sure.
It's listed at $1,049,000.
Yep.
And it's in a really good location, and actually, literally, 2 or 3 houses over. There's one that's pending right now for $4 million.
I think it's $5 million.
Yeah. $5 million.
I'm pretty sure it's $5 million. It's
$4 or $5 million
2 houses, 2 pools.
Oh yeah.
And it's so the house that we're talking about, 605 Margaret, is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's maybe 6 houses or so from the cemetery, which if you are not familiar with Key West, that's ooh, but it's beautiful in that area.
Yeah.
It's really cute little shaded lanes.
Mm-hmm.
It's old town. You're close to everything.
It's literally right next to, is it Mangia? Mangia.
Yeah. Very close to that as well. So it's a cute house. It's a really nice central location, and the list price is, it's pretty on par for.
It's pretty much a little over $1 million.
Yeah. So for Old Town. Now, what's interesting about it is that it has technically been on the market for 5 days, but they are not going to start showings until the 1st of April. So I think it'll be interesting to kind of see how that goes. It is updated inside. It is very cute. And the back porch or backyard area, they have a large sectional patio couch out there now.
Maybe put a swim spa or something.
I think get rid of the sectional, put in a smaller set out there, and then put a nice swim spa at the other side because you don't need a permit for the swim spa. And then you'll have a nice little pool back there too.
If you can get one back there.
If you can get one back there. It looked like you could based off the pictures. Maybe a smaller one or something.
Well,
but
I'm just
still.
talking about physically getting it back there.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. So if you could, that would be very cool to put a little, a little pool back there or whatever. But yeah, super cute little house. Nice central location.
Not a bad price for Key West.
Not a bad price. Not at all.
And also, one literally just went up today, and this is not our house of the week, but I'm just going to tell you about it. See if you guys are interested in this, let us know. But just popped up in the Key West golf course.
Yep.
And I think it was right between 600,000 and 700,000.
Didn't you say 650?
Yeah, it's well, it's right between 600 and 700. Nailed it.
Yeah.
So I think it's right around the 650 mark. So yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, so
well under $1 million.
We're seeing some things pop up here and there that are under $1 million in Key West. Key West Golf Course is technically more like Stock Island, but still it's the Key West Golf Course.
And it has the Key West address.
Key West address. Nice little area.
Mm-hmm.
People do rent Key West Golf Course places for vacation rentals monthly. So yeah, something to consider if you're in the market and that price point's appealing.
There's still plenty of $5 to $7 million houses out there also. So
if you're in the market.
Yeah.
We have a house for any price point that you are shopping in.
Besides 300,000.
That's right. Anything under 500,000, challenging.
Above
anything,
we can find you something.
5 to 750, Still a little challenging, pretty competitive, but there might be something there.
Yeah.
Over $1 million, that's where we're going to have a little more to pick from. Still going to be a little competitive, but a little less competitive.
We are in a resort town,
Yes.
guys.
Yes, I know.
But remember, you can go out of Key West and still be in like the lower Keys or middle Keys and get a little bit more bang for your buck. So
absolutely. Absolutely.
But there's still obviously beautiful houses up there that are, you know, 2 million plus also. So
yes.
With these.
There's actually, I mean, the most expensive houses in the Keys are not in Key West typically.
Yeah, there's a couple that are in it's the lower Keys. The one that's like 18 million or something, 17 million.
Is it Summerlin?
Yeah.
Am I imagining that?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyways. So that's that. Anything else?
I think that's it for now. I really wanted to talk about the red tide and the seaweed because I feel like that's something that's coming up a lot. We were going to talk about this week. There was a couple of people who came over from Cuba. They came over on a hang glider. It was
literally
wild.
a homemade hang glider.
Yes.
And I think that this is just getting overlooked. The craziest thing, they made it to the airport. They didn't try to just land anywhere.
They landed it at the airport.
They landed it at, It was a crash landing.
It was a crash
They're
landing.
okay.
Yes.
But
everyone's okay.
But they landed at the airport.
Yeah.
Not like, let's go to this open field over here.
No.
They somehow navigated to the airport.
Yeah. Landed in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just wild.
Yeah.
Very harrowing, I would say. Like, imagine making that flight. Like, I would...
all over
to
water,
me,
hoping that this contraption you made somehow flies.
Like, to me, when I think about going on, like, the plane to the Tortugas...
Yeah.
That, like, creeps me out a little bit. Like, because it's just, like, a small plane. You know what I mean? Like, just for me, I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying for me, I can't imagine being in, like, an open-air hang glider.
I think it was two people.
For 90 miles.
And
terrifying.
Still somehow make it to the airport.
And then landing at the airport after flying all night.
That's insane.
You're tired.
I'm sleepy.
Unless they put it on autopilot.
I don't think they added that.
Yeah. I don't know.
But that's a crazy story that happened this week.
Yeah, that happened this week. Yeah. We put it on our Instagram stories. We had someone who we know sent us a little footage from out there. So we put that on our Instagram story. It's really wild to actually see the hang glider, like to see how
close.
primitive it was. Really wild. So anyways, interesting, sad, harrowing, but that happened in Key West. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's that. That's all we had to talk about.
Yeah. So remember, guys, if you like our content, please go ahead and subscribe, share, comment. Let us know who you think we should try to get on our Island Stories podcast, our series. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.